All right, I think we're live. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Taylor, the New Hampshire hiker. Still just trying to figure all of this out, so bear with me. But yeah, I don't really have an agenda. I just kind of wanted to test this feature out. Live stream is a little difficult for me to look at the camera, but also still kind of make sure that everything is going on okay over here. So if you do see me glance over that way, it's because my laptop's here and I want to either read the comments or check to make sure that nothing is failing horribly. Hi from Jamaica. How are you? Tim's here. Hey, that's me. Well, welcome everyone. Appreciate it. If you say hi in the chat, let me know where you're coming in from. Well, I just double check to make sure everything is still working appropriately. Cool. Oh, thank you, Samantha. I appreciate that. I think my beard is getting a little long, but it's winter time. It's keeping me warm. Hi from Maryland. Thanks for joining in. So as I mentioned, I don't really have an agenda for this. I was just hoping to kind of talk with you guys and see if there was any questions coming in. I've been a little slow on uploading videos, and I know that. I think my last one I made, actually, if you can kind of see it, these cabinets back there. I made the doors for them and did a long video about how I made the doors and a frame and panel type of door, and it came out all right. I don't know if you saw my Instagram story, but the right side is not so good. The left side is pretty good. So in any of the shots in that video, I tried to make a focus on the left side because that came out much better. And then before that, I think it was talking about the new miter saw that I got. So I don't have any new videos in the works, but I am planning on doing something soon. And I wanted at least to kind of try this out as well to see if it might be an avenue for me. So on off-road, made a cutting board because of my video. It's almost finished. That's awesome. And if you do finish one and you have Instagram, please take a picture. Please share it. Please tag me. I want to see it. And that's super cool. From Dallas, Texas, Leawood, Kansas. Hey guys, thanks for hopping in. But yeah, so I tried playing around with Twitch and live streaming, and I thought it would be kind of cool because I am currently in the process of making a dining room table. And this is probably my largest project today. And unfortunately, I'm not filming the process just because I wanted to get it done. And I've never made a table before, and I just kind of wanted to make mistakes and not have to worry about filming the entire process and editing. I just wanted to get the table done. Hey, Pat. And I also really struggled with trying to find a type of wood for the table. So where I live, there's no real like hardwood lumber store. I mean, there is probably like an hour and a half away, but they're closed on the weekends. There's another one that's an hour away, and I drove all the way out there. Their website said that they were open on Saturday from like 7 a.m. to noon. And I got there, and they were closed because of COVID. So that sucked. It's at Casual Builds, Mountain Off-Road. So I didn't know what to do, so I ended up just going with some 2x8s, I think. Keep it rustic, using pine, very straightforward. I think each board, 8-foot board, was probably like $13. Hey, Evan. And I thought it would be fun, right? So as long as I sand it down, I don't know if I can actually show you guys, but it's on the ground. That's why I'm like, it's all in clamps. This thing is probably 7 feet long and about 42 inches wide. and Joshua from SoCal. And yeah, it's a huge table, and my workshop isn't the biggest, so I'm having a little bit of a difficulty trying to maneuver around while the glue's set up, and it's about dry. But I am probably going to add some breadboards, which I've never done. Again, that's probably why I'm not filming it. Thanks, Auntie Darlene. So yeah, that's what's going on right now in my shop. And the reason why I started talking about that is I tried streaming on Twitch, but slowly realized that I didn't already have an audience, and I should probably just do it here as well. But I really wanted to put out a video where I show everyone how to like design something in Fusion 360 or SketchUp, because that's all where my projects start. Is I go to the computer and I mock it up, and I generate a cut list, and then go buy the lumber, and then take it from there. So I started on Twitch to kind of open up Fusion 360, and I was there for about, 50 minutes with one viewer, which was a buddy of mine. It was fun testing everything out, so I at least kind of figured out all the streaming software. But yeah, cool. There's about 20 viewers on here. But please, if you guys have any questions or talk tracks that I can go off of, that would be great. Put it in the chat. So I did buy a new tool for the tabletop, because typically if you're going to glue something up, you can either just like this whole panel down here, I'll show it again. For the glue up, there are 6-inch wide boards, so I have 7 of them. So I probably could just take all the pieces and use glue, set it in clamps, and that is all you need to do. But you could use biscuits to help with the alignment, and I could have done that as well, but I ended up buying this dowel max, which is really cool for dowel joinery, and I've never used anything like this before. So it did take a while to drill in all of the slots for every single board, and most of the boards that were on either side, but it helps really, really good with alignment. And so this whole thing is nice and flat, and I didn't have to worry about any of the board shifting during the glue up. Jason Fenliam, just talking about a dining room table that I'm working on right now. Unfortunately, I'm not creating a video for it, but I do have some ideas for future videos. One of my videos, a cutting board video, it brought a lot of controversy, first of all, because I titled it Cutting Board for Beginners, and I used a planer and a joiner, and it was a very innocent, and I still think it's a beginner type of video, but everyone kind of took it as, how am I supposed to have all of these tools as a beginner? And regardless of that, the topic was really about joining and planing boards, so I might make a kind of quick video on that. When do you use a jointer, a planer, the difference between all that. So that's kind of on the roadmap. So yeah. Pat, I recently bought a tabletop for my workbench. It's 1/2 inch plywood. Is that too thin? Should I protect it? I'm assuming if that is the only top, like my workbench right now, it's built from 2x4s, and it has 1 3/4 inch sheet of plywood on top, and that's just fine. So I don't know if a 1/2 inch is good too, but I would, I've seen a lot of people use 2 3/4 inch like slots of MDF, and definitely put some sort of finish on top of it. I think for this one, I just did like a bunch of coats of a water-based polyurethane. Color am I going to make it, Taylor? I think I'm going to stain it, and it's going to be something like whitewash type of stain, and just to match the overall room, kind of like a hint of orange. I'm not sure. I need to go on Minwax and kind of figure it out. But I think the base of the table, it's going to be a trestle style base, is going to be white. Maker Art Play just got his dowel max a week ago. Yeah, this thing is awesome. I was really intimidated when I got it. Like, if you can see, let me change the autofocus here. It's got like all these different contraptions and clamps, and I had just no idea what was going on with this. But ultimately, this is the spacer. And it's got some, as long as you read the directions, it's pretty simple, and it really helps to make sure everything is aligned nice and good. Just got my Ryobi toolkit for Christmas. Any tips on getting familiar with the tools? Yeah, I mean, I never really used power tools before I moved into this house, and it's just all by learning. I watched a ton of videos on YouTube and just learned what like the safety protocol was for each. I would definitely make sure that you're staying safe, and yeah, eye protection, ear protection, you're sanding, definitely wear some sort of respirator or mask. But yeah, it's practice. So try to be as safe as you can. And then as you progress, you'll just start to learn what you can, do more of. For example, the table saw, I was scared to death to use it for the first time. But as I started using it a little bit more, I got comfortable with it, and it just takes practice. But you always want to make sure that you're not getting too comfortable, because that's when accidents happen. So I always try to stay safe, but definitely keep practicing with them. But that's awesome. What kind of, what did you get in your toolkit, Tally? Have I ever flown to Denver with someone who is terrified of flying? If so, was it fun? No, I can't say that I have. What's your favorite thing that you've made so far? Nice, and that's a great question. I really like the way the coffee bar turned out. Just kind of quick off the top of my head. That's one of my videos. It was for a friend of ours. They found something off of Etsy that they wanted, and I kind of mocked it up and just watch the whole video, kind of show how I build it and how it came to be. But I think that came out really well, and it was a good learning experience for me, because like that project is definitely going to help me out with making the dining room table, because I practice on the glue up, I practice on staining and the top itself, and then adding the finish and painting it. So I've learned a lot that I'm going to carry over to the table, so it's really going to help out. Yeah, Dalmas took almost 4 weeks to arrive. Yeah, mine was fairly quick. I would assume it was probably like around Christmas time when things were definitely slow, but yeah. Pat Walsh. Yes, I have flown to Denver with someone who is terrified of flying, now that you bring it up. Oh, that's so funny. Sorry, man. I just posted a picture and tagged you in it. Yeah, no, I'll definitely go check it out after this, Mount Off-Road. I'm excited. Thanks for tagging me. You're my hero, Ryan. Thanks, man. Can't wait for the table. Yeah. If you couldn't tell, Brittany is my wife, so she's definitely a saint for letting me come down here on the weekends and watching the kids while I'm able to get this table all squared away. So I will make a video. I want to make one of the sides of the table, or the dining room table, be a bench to kind of match the table itself. So maybe I'll make a video on that, because it's ultimately the same design, and then I kind of got all the mistakes, or knew what I was doing on the bench. So maybe I'll do that. Pat. How did I create my cool logo? So I actually, I tried making a logo a few times, and I ultimately, every time I tried to make it on my own, I just never liked it. So I went on to Fiverr.com, and I think I found someone for like $10, and they sent me 3 different images of a logo, and I just picked this one. And they sent me the raw files that I used on Illustrator, so then I just made some adjustments based upon my need. But yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. I need to get a new branding iron. I have this cool one, but ultimately it's from my older logo. Until I haven't used it in a while. But this is probably what I'm going to use for my tabletop. Let's see if I can autofocus here. See, that was the original logo when I was Tognacci Woodworks, and then realized I don't know, I just didn't want it to be Woodworks. I wanted to keep it like Builds or something, not really tied to Woodworks, but ultimately that's what I'm doing. It just kind of opened it up a little bit more for me, and I wanted to focus on content creation rather than actually building furniture to sell, and Tognacci Woodworks kind of made it seem like I was in the business to sell woodworking projects, and that wasn't my intention. Jay Schmidt, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Thanks, Pat. Oh, and your Ryobi, you got a drill, impact driver, reciprocating saw, circular saw, multi-tool, 2 batteries. Wow, that's a great kit. Yeah, I wish I had a multi-tool. I've never used that one, but the circular saw, I mean, the drill and the impact driver, those are pretty straightforward. I always use my drill just for drilling, and then I use my impact driver for actually like bringing in the screws. Before I only had, so this was funny, this is my first drill that I got in my shop. This thing is nice. I mean, it's small, it's compact, does the job. But then I upgraded and I got a couple more, drill and driver. But yeah, circular saw is good. You want to be careful with that one because sometimes it can bind. Highly recommend taking a speed square. You can see the orange things back there. If you're making a cut or clamping a straight edge down to your board, if you're making a long cut, just anything to kind of keep it so it's not wobbling off to the side. Practice, you'll get good. How you doing? I'm doing great, Rumpel. Thanks, appreciate it. Maker Play got your logo from Fiverr too. I mean, it's an excellent opportunity. I think this logo from this the branding iron originally, I got this from Fiverr as well. I didn't make any adjustments to it. I like the way it came out, but there was a couple of revisions. But yeah, yeah, not much else to say there. How do I select wood to pick at the store? Seems like it can be a little overwhelming. So I've only been to like a hardwood type of lumber dealer before once, and I was overwhelmed. I'd never been into a store like that and no idea what was going on. And I just was searching for some walnut, and as I was walking out, I was literally going to leave and not buy anything. I saw this like right at the edge or the end of the, I don't know, whatever you call it, the big garage or wherever they were in. It was just a bunch of like off-cut walnut pieces, not off-cut, they were 8 feet long. And they were on clearance or something. I think it was because they had a lot of sapwood in it. I'm not sure. But if you actually go back and watch the cutting board video I made, that board was the first time I actually went out and bought some like walnut. And this was pre-COVID, so I was able to walk in, and that was the store that I tried going to again, but realized when I got there they were closed. But I'll typically just go to a local lumber yard, and they don't have like really fancy wood. I usually just go there to get plywood. And then if I need to get really anything else, I'll just go to a Lowe's or Home Depot, which is, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, they just sell everything kind of in the chunks and, 2x4s and 2x6s or 1x4s or whatever the case. And they label it out for pine, premium pine, poplar, maple, oak. What am I filming on, Dave Boyer? It is a Canon. It's a Canon EOS M50. And I somehow figured out a way, and I've never done this before, but I have a cord from that plugging into the laptop. Is it true that I have a pink hammer? Yeah, that's your hammer, Brittany, and it's upstairs. I do have still your pink tool bag, though, down here. This is all we had. Yeah, I'll bring it in closer. When we lived in the city, I didn't have any tools, and my wife, she had this, and this is what we did all our repairs on. So I had this in my shop, where I have pliers and a hammer, but I've since upgraded, so I don't use this anymore. But yes, I did at one time have a pink hammer, which is now upstairs. Have you done anything in your shop to improve your audio for your videos? The sound quality in this live feed sounds good. The audio in here, it's okay. It's kind of echoey. When I film videos, I'll either do one of those lav mics and plug it directly into my camera, but in the last couple more recent videos, I got a wireless one, which works. Right now, I'm actually using a dedicated microphone that's just sitting down here. So that's probably why it's a little bit better than, I don't know, your standard laptop microphone. No, I don't smoke cigs in here. Great question though, Tim. What is my favorite beer? Busch Light? Yeah, Ryan, you got me. It's Busch Light. No, my favorite beer. I don't necessarily know if I have a favorite brand or a favorite brewery. I mean, Treehouse, Trillium, which are both in Massachusetts, where I live, they are really good. I would say if there was a beer, a double IPA from them, very tasty. All of them, I'm in Massachusetts. We have a purple one. Purple what, Dave? So yeah, this has been pretty fun. I'm gonna probably hang around for a little bit longer if you guys are willing to stay and hang out with me. But I'll probably have more of an announcement next time because I literally just got everything set up and I wanted to test this out, and it seems like the quality is going pretty good. And I have tried Red Stripe. From what I remember, I've enjoyed them. Oh, aren't you? Yeah, you said you were in Jamaica, right? What tips? Will Fisher, appreciate the question. What tips would you give yourself if you could talk to yourself when you first started? That's a great question. I'm not sure. I think the biggest like tip for any sort of beginner woodworker or anyone that's like wants to try something new, because my biggest hesitation is I would procrastinate projects for a really long time because I didn't know how to start it. So my recommendation, my advice to anyone that's like, oh, I want to go build that, but like I'm not entirely sure how to do it. Just start and then figure it out as you go, because mistakes will happen and it's fine. That's how you learn. Like, for example, I really dreaded making this dining room table. It's been a while that it's been on my to-do list. I've kind of been like, oh, let me just go make this cutting board for someone because I know how to make a cutting board and I'm familiar with that, and I've just kind of been putting this off. But now that I've started, I'm so glad that I did, because now I have a good sense of what needs to happen. And the biggest challenge right now that I'm faced with this dining room table is the top, because I want to make breadboard ends for it. And you have to make sure that you're careful with breadboard ends, and specifically with this pine, because wood movement, expanding and contracting. If you're just locking that breadboard in at the end, it's going to cause some issues and it's going to cause some splits in the seams, and I don't want that to happen. So I want to make sure I do it right. So I'm probably need to spend some time trying to figure that out, but I have watched a ton of videos telling me to do that. So yeah, what I would tell myself, just like, you have a project you want to do, just start it. So. Oh, Dave, you have a purple hammer. Gotcha. Australia. Nice. Wow. Thanks for coming and hanging out here. All sounds good. Video's okay. The CNC. So the CNC is funny because I purchased my CNC over there. It was probably one of the first like biggest purchases in my shop. Like, typically people will maybe get a nice table saw or, I don't know, a nice bandsaw or whatever, drill press. I ended up getting that, and it specifically for, if you go back and watch my video on how to make and sell wooden signs, that was kind of the main reason. That's kind of where I wanted to focus. But I ultimately went with the X-Carve from Inventables, and the reason why I did that is ultimately because I saw it in a ton of YouTube videos, and I think they were just like heavily into sponsoring YouTubers that were in woodworking. But I did some research and digging around. It was really affordable, and they have a software called Easel that is super easy to use, and it's, you know, I just ultimately went on that one. So I didn't do too much research, to be honest. I just kind of found that one, knew I wanted it, and I went with it, but I've been happy ever since. It does have some slight issues that I need to figure out because of the alignment. I still haven't gotten it quite like perfect yet, but works great. Made a number of decent like wooden signs where I typically just take a piece of like a 24, 23 inch long piece of pine and about like 7 inches wide. I stain it and then I cut into it to whatever design they want and put some finish on, and it's good. Cool. Sorry. Oh, I think I just got Michael. I think I got your picture. I'll take a look in a second. Can I buy one of those hats, Dave? Yeah. I gotta ask Brittany because she bought it through some guy on Etsy, and this is a gift. So I definitely would like to get a couple more that I could sell. And if I do get more, I will let you know. Are you familiar with the differences between using beechwood and maple? They look very similar, and I'm seeing people starting to use beech with walnut now. I'm not too familiar with beechwood, to be honest. I feel like I might have used it like once, or I think that was basswood. Yeah, I'm not sure. Where do you see people using it in like just general furniture or cutting boards? Or yeah, I'm not too familiar with beechwood, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Cool. How do I go about sealing the inside of a small wood planter box for indoor use? I'm not sure, Tyler, to be honest. I've never made one. I have seen a ton of videos on YouTube of people making them though. So I'd imagine, I mean, for indoor use, yeah, I'm not too sure. I would definitely take a look. I know a lot of outdoor ones, they'll use, you know, probably cedar and get some sort of liner inside, but yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like being a big famous YouTuber now. I'm definitely not a big famous YouTuber. Cool. Carlos from California. Oh, message gone. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought I'd kind of try out this live stream. It's been fun. I got a couple projects that I have in mind. Probably future videos. Like I mentioned, I definitely want to do a explanation or you know, how to use a jointer and planer. Not necessarily how to use them, but maybe where one kind of works and the other doesn't. Because that is, I'm a part of, if you're, you know, into woodworking as well. I know I've got a couple friends here and maybe some woodworkers and DIYers in there as well. Highly recommend, if you have Facebook, joining, I think it's like Woodworking for Beginners Facebook group. If you can kind of sort out the noise, but it's been really helpful. I've reached out a couple times for some things that I needed help with. And the biggest question that I always see there, and I think as it relates to joining and planing boards, is, you know, can I just use a jointer and then like flip it over and then joint that face and get the board flat? Or, you know, what do I buy first? Is it a planer or a jointer? And I think there's a lot of questions I could probably bring up in a video like that. That'd be pretty helpful. I do probably have some other shop projects that I need to make, but I probably won't film them. I got a new bandsaw recently, and I need to make a mobile cart for it, which is probably going to be based off the same design that I did my drill press table for. I do want to start making more project videos that contain plans as well. Definitely want to get more plans. I do have a few up on my website. I have one for a kitchen helper, like a learning tower type of thing for kids to be able to, you know, climb on up to and reach the counter in the kitchen, and the drill press table, and then the cabinets. So these cabinets back here, if you can see them, those ones, So I made a video about how to just make the doors, but I have plans on how to make like these wall-mounted cabinets up there as well. Yeah, Olive. I didn't know that. So the dominoes from Festool, the actual floating tenons, are made from beechwood. And yeah, I do follow Four Eyes, and they're using that finish they're using. Yeah, I think beech. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're out in California, so they probably just have access to that. I'm in the other side of on the East Coast, so I'm we're limited with that. So I've never actually used beech, so I'm not sure. What's the cut height on the bandsaw? I think it's got. That's a great question. So I think it's a 10-inch, but if you lift this up all the way, probably like 5 inches or so. Yeah. What'd you do for work before woodworking? So woodworking is not a full-time thing for me. I have been in sales since I pretty much graduated college, and I've been in different sales roles, mostly for like software companies. But now I've transitioned into more of like a sales trainer type of role, which is great because I'm able to kind of use what I've learned in my full-time job and kind of apply it to this, which is awesome. But yeah, this is definitely still just a side thing for me that I do on nights and weekends. How many streams do you plan on doing this year? So we can watch it. Kurt, that sentence. How many stream do you plan on doing to share us and what we can watch you build? I'm assuming doing a stream where I'm actually building something. That's tough. I think I would just leverage my making the videos and posting them on my channel for that. But I don't really know if there's an audience to kind of put a camera up in the side. Maybe there is. Who knows? Maybe I'll test it out. Carlos, what's the topic? Yeah, I was confused there for a second. Really no topic. This is my first live stream, so I just wanted to try it and test it out. And yeah, and just kind of answering questions, talking about what I'm working on, really. Olive, thank you, appreciate it. That's kind of the goal of my channel. I wanted. There's a lot of channels out there that are focused on woodworking, and they're great videos. And don't get me wrong, I've learned a ton from them. But I feel like there's a lot of like steps and maybe the beginner process as you're just getting started out that they kind of skip over because it's assumed, which is fine because maybe they're geared more towards intermediate advanced. I want to at least try to explain everything that I'm doing in all my videos to the best of my capability. To be honest, it takes a lot of work to film, make, edit all of the videos, and even if I'm doing voiceovers, but I definitely try to be an approachable woodworker and throughout my videos. If it's not a video, I'll even make something. Kurt, am I the first donation on your live stream? Yes, you are, and I appreciate that. And who's your best friend besides your daughters and wife? That would be you. Thank you, Kurt. Very generous, $5. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah. So, I don't know, we've been doing this for, is there a time here? Yeah, 34 minutes. Probably go on for 45 if people are still here. Feel free to post your questions. But yeah, so I talked a little bit about some of the projects I had in mind, the dining room table, my website, and some of the plans. Oh, the one thing that I really need to start figuring out down here and is dust collection. Because I have a small shop and all of the people on YouTube, and they have like great shops, and they always have like really, really nice dust collection with the PVC piping up top. And I don't think necessarily I want to get to that level. I don't really think, I just think that's a little too much for my shop. So what I've done, and highly recommend this for you, but I have a big dedicated dust collector over there with a 4-inch hose that hooks up to all of my, so I ultimately just take it out here. And I got this little like connection from Rockler, which is really cool, hooks up to the hose. And then I have the couplings on all my tools. So I'll just move this from tool to tool. And then I started to buy these little like holder things, and those will go on the side of any of my carts just to make it easier, because most of the tools, the dust collection port is in the back, or it's just not easily accessible. So I started doing that with my router table. I put this on the side of it so I can just plug in the dust collector over there. But I need to get everything locked up because I have tools and it's just moving it and constantly. So that's one thing that I need to work on, is just managing the dust in my shop. I'll fix that later. Ryan made your first cutting board. Thanks for learning from you. You're a great teacher. You have great potential. I appreciate that, Ryan. That's awesome. If you have Instagram, please post a picture of it. Tag me in it. I want to see. That's awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, Carlos, I know. I'm trying to get to it. It's a lot of work to make videos and projects and put everything together, especially with a full-time job and 2 little ones at the house. But I'm definitely trying. I definitely need to just get the motivation to come down here and work on a few things. But yeah, I have no plans on stopping this. So I need just to figure out what the next project is, and I'll keep at it. Make her play. yeah. Kurt definitely was my one Twitch viewer, and I appreciate that, Kurt, hanging out with me. Yeah, I was just testing things out with Twitch, but who knows? Maybe that's something I'll continuously do. I enjoy designing the furniture, but I also have to have a project in mind. So I would ultimately use Twitch to just broadcast while I'm sitting on the computer anyways, and just make some design and furniture for any upcoming projects. So my username there is Casual Builds on Twitch. I think twitch.tv/casual builds. I need 50 followers, and in order to get to the next step to get the bits and subscribers. So if you go on Twitch, go find my channel, give me a follow, be much appreciated. How do I deal with Carlos? How do I deal with your fears, if any, doing woodwork? Yeah, I don't know. There has been a few times where whatever I'm doing, especially on the table saw or any other tools that can get a little dicey. I don't necessarily think, I don't know if your question is more towards fears of using the tools, or fears of learning new projects or doing maybe something that I've never done before, but I'm going to go with the safety aspect of it. I've just been doing it for a couple years now. I mean, I'm still, I would classify myself as a beginner, maybe more towards on the intermediate side, but I'm still learning. And I am always cautious around my tools. Anytime the table saw blade's running, I am making sure that my eyes do not lose focus of that blade, and I know where my hands are at all times. I did have one close encounter with my router table, actually, and that was probably the scariest moment in my shop, where I had the router table going, and I was also using noise cancellation headphones that I got from Bose. These were new headphones. I was really excited to try them out. And I was like, oh, maybe I cranked the music up. I couldn't hear anything in here. And I didn't realize that the router table, the router was actually still spinning. And I got really, really close because I was adjusting the fence, and I looked down, and my fingers were probably this close to the bit that was just whirling. That was really, really, really scary. Yeah, I probably do owe Kurt $5 for joining my Twitch stream and being the only person. Can I make a floating bed, Carla, for a full bed? I have seen a few floating beds on YouTube. I think Homemade Modern, Ben Ueda made one recently where you put acrylic in the bottom or like underneath as a support beam and attached it, and it made it all out of steel and attached it to the studs of the wall. That was really cool. I've never made a bed, and if I did, I probably would just make it a standard one because I would want to learn how to do that first before I could try to make it, appear like it was floating. Am I making, Tyler, am I making more money off YouTube than your normal job yet? I wish. I wish. Oh, Brittany already said that. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm making money off of YouTube. It's not a lot, but I enjoy doing this, so I want to continue to do that. That's why if you ever, go on YouTube and watch creators and they say like, I'll leave a link down below to whatever I buy, I always try to use their links. And more often than not, they're affiliate links. So that's just another source of income through using YouTube, is just going on Amazon and actually putting links down in the description to products that you might own, that if you watch that you want the same thing, because they will earn a small percentage commission off of you going to Amazon through the link that they did, but the price of the item is still the same. So whenever you can, if you want to support the people that you see on YouTube, use those links. Just the ad revenue and money from YouTube is probably the majority of what I get from doing this. I do make a decent amount off of the plans that I have on my website, specifically that one kitchen step stool, the learning tower off of that, but I definitely want to continue to make more plans. I want to continue to make more videos because it's fun. And not to mention that cutting board video, I'm assuming you guys have seen it. I don't know what happened with that video, but I can't remember how many subscribers, but that video took off. I remember just like looking at my analytics, and all of a sudden it just jumped up to like 50,000 and then 100,000, and it just kept climbing. So I don't know if I just like hit that YouTube algorithm or something. I honestly think it has to do with the comments, because every time people comment, it shows that they're engaging in your video, and it's maybe something that other people should watch, and though they recommend it. Because I said cutting board for beginners, and there was just a heated debate about this isn't for beginners, you use all these tools, and people just going back and forth. So I think it actually helped the video do that well. Who knows? What's my favorite type of project? Oh, Carla, can you do a bed frame? Can you do a bed frame for a full? I'm not sure. Maybe. I think there's an opportunity. My daughter's getting a little bit older. I might need to make a bed for her. So maybe I will work on something like that in the future. What's your favorite type of project? The project I haven't done yet. I know that's a weird answer, but I always learn from something that I obviously haven't done before. Like, I'm assuming once this dining room table, if that is all done and everything is all set and everything goes smoothly, probably will be my favorite project to date. So it's always the one that I've never done before. The Twitch app. So Twitch is a streaming service, kind of like this, but it's more geared to a lot of it is video game playing and people just on the computer. So I was using Twitch. So if you go to twitch.tv, I was using that to stream my computer as I was designing furniture in Fusion 360. I'm here because of the cutting board video. Yeah, I'm assuming probably 25,000 or so of my current subscriber base is solely here, if not more, because of that one video. So yeah, it was just amazing to see that thing take off. And it's been the response, I'm talking about the people being negative on those comments, but there was a lot of positivity too. A lot of people have reached out to me on Instagram saying that they've inspired them to go make their first cutting board, and that is the stuff what I continuously do when I'm doing here, just to kind of motivate people, inspire people to go out and try something new and try woodworking. which is awesome. So if you were here because of that video and you've made your own cutting board, tag me. I definitely want to see them. Cool. All right, we're up at 45 minutes. This has been fun. First time live stream. A lot of good comments in here. Kurt, appreciate the donation. Thank you guys for hopping in. But I think I'm gonna call it here. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if this is something that you guys would want to see again. Maybe if I had a more of a focus of conversation or a topic. I'm not sure. Yeah. Tyler, thanks. Cool. It's funny. I got to also figure out the delay because your texts come through. I'm pretty sure there's like a 10 or 15-second delay here, so I got to get used to that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up, and feel free to go on Twitch, twitch.tv/casualbuilds. I'm going to try to get on there as often as I can when I'm designing something on Fusion 360. Just hit follow, and then I think if I'm logged in, you'll be able to see it. So, yeah. Cool. Well, I'll probably do this again sometime, maybe have a different focus, or maybe just this same. I think I might be able to post this onto my channel, so if anyone wanted to come back and see it, I don't know, watching a re-live video is popular, and if they do well, but I'm probably gonna do it anyways. But yeah, I appreciate everyone hopping in, and enjoy the rest of your night or day, depending upon where you are. Thanks everyone.